BYD's largest SUV has been revised again, and it's now bigger than ever, smarter than ever, cooler than ever, and it comes with a megawatt fast charging EV version 2. It's also going to international markets, likely badged as the Sealion 8. This is inside China Auto, and this is the BYD Tang L. Yes, this is the BYD Tang L, the largest SUV in the BYD brand. It's now bigger than ever, more than 5 meters long. It's gained 7 centimeters in length over the outgoing BYD Tang, making this a bit of a beast in more ways than one. It's a full-size, 3-row, 7-seater SUV, and it is part of the Dynasty series, as you can tell from the Dragon's Beard grille and of course from the name. If and when this car goes to international markets as a Sealion 8, we'll probably get different styling on the front, similar to the Sealion 6 or the Seal U in international markets, in order to bring it more in line with the Ocean series. It's available with either an EV or a plug-in hybrid drivetrain, and we get the plug-in hybrid drivetrain today, which is good because we get to drive the latest DMI 5.0 platform. It's bad because the EV is pretty special. The EV comes with 1 megawatt charging. That is 1,000 kilowatt charging that can add up to 400 kilometers of range in just 5 minutes. BYD have assured us they will get us another car to test that out in the near future, so stay tuned for that. Also, by the way, that version comes with a 580 kilowatt motor on the rear axle, the most powerful mass-produced motor on the planet. So it is pretty special. We don't get all of that today in the DMI version. I am sorry about that. But let's talk about this car. As you can see, we've got kind of a narrower, cartoony style lights here. We've got a daytime running light all the way across the front. We get some air inlets at the side, more slabby styling, and an active grille down at the bottom. At the side, on the flagship version that we have, we get 21-inch alloys. They're pretty big. They help to balance out the proportions of this vehicle. On the single motor version, you get 20-inch alloys instead. You'll also notice, by the way, we get a LiDAR unit on top of the screen, which means that this car comes with BYD's God's Eye B hardware and D-Pilot 300 autonomous driving system, which makes this car capable of doing highway autonomous driving and urban autonomous driving as well. But I'm going to let you down because this car is not technically on sale yet, and it's not been activated. So unfortunately, I can't show you that today. But again, at some point in the future, I will do a video about God's Eye when I get the chance to do so. But as well as that, you get cameras under here, pair under there, one on there, a lot of sensors as well. They support that autonomous driving system. In terms of the styling, we get bits of chrome along the side there, across the top of the windows, across the roof racks. And we also get this, a chimney on top of a car. Now, can you guess what that's for? Some of you will have got that right. If you have watched our Shanghai Auto Show video, you'll know that BYD now offers drones on the top of their cars. Literally, there's a drone in here that can follow the car, record what you're doing, and they do say that at some point in the future, maybe it'll scan the road or the traffic to tell you a better way to go. Not entirely sure how that's going to work. And unfortunately, I cannot show you how that's going to work because, again, it's not activated on our car. At some point in the future, we will get another BYD or Denza or Fangchungbao with the drone on top, and we'll show you how that works. I can show you the drone, that's in the boot. But yeah, sadly, I can't show you that today. But back to the car. Really, really cool paint color, by the way. Do like this sort of grey tinted anthracite, really lovely paint color this. Pop out door handles there, doors that go all the way to the bottom to make sure you don't get mud on your pants. Really large rear door for easy access. Petrol cap on this side, charging port on the other. This one will only do 72 kilowatts DC fast charging for the battery in this one. We also get DISA C suspension on this, which is kind of the most lightweight version of BYD's DISA suspension. It means that it's got adaptive dampers to give you a smoother ride, but I'll get onto that during the driving section. Here at the back, you can see It's actually pretty neatly styled, the Tang L. I really like these bamboo knot tail lamps, really cool sort of 3D graphics in there. They're really lovely. Twin high-level brake lamps, they're a bit of a styling theme in China at the moment with off-roaders and SUVs. High-level camera, also a rear window wiper under this chunky spoiler, and a light-up BYD badge as well. Now, the mysteries begin when we open the boot, because in here, apparently, according to the information online, we have 675 litres of space behind the third row seats. Now, I don't really believe that, so what I'm going to do, like I did on the Rock 01 video, is shove in my 28-inch suitcase. And if you can see there, it looks like it's sticking out pretty far. I don't think this is going to go down, but let's see. Okay. Alrighty, so I've been proved wrong. There you go, okay. That's quite incredible. I don't know how it's managed to fit that in there. That is nuts. There's no way that should fit inside. Okay. Well, there you go, okay. Anyway, so yeah, apparently 675 litres of space here. I don't think so. I think that's more like 200, maybe 300 maximum. But if we fold down the second row seats, we get up to 960 litres of space, which is quite useful. Fold down the second row seats as well, up to 1,960 litres of space. So pretty big, quite useful storage. There's a little bit of space under here as well. And by the way, in this box, we have our drone. This is the drone. I told you we had one. That goes in the roof there. You do get a controller with it as well. So logically, I should be able to fly this as well as use it on the roof. But I'm not going to do that, just in case. It's not mine. This doesn't seem to be any particular model of DJI that I know. It is a DJI, but I don't think it's one that you can buy in a shop. It's only custom made for the BYD models that come with the drone function. But there you go, put that back in there. As well as that, 12V socket over here. We also get, by the way, an electronic tow ball. That will tow up to 2 tons. Also big bass unit for your 21 speaker sound system, I think it is. But yeah, quite useful space in the back of the Tang L. Good design as well. Let's go and check out the interior. In the front of the Tang L, like in most Chinese cars over 100,000 RMB, you get a pretty premium feel and interior. So we get soft touch materials on the dash. All this brown / salmony colored stuff is also soft touch. Apart from the steering wheel and the 2 front seats, which are both leather on this car, we get some silvery plastic on the center console, some real bamboo on the flagship version of this car, on the dashboard and on the doors. The only plastics, the hard plastics, are really down at the bottom. So it does feel very premium in here. And I do like the 2-tone color scheme inside the car as well. In front of us, we've got a 10.25-inch screen for your usual driving functions. Control that with the buttons on the steering wheel. You get a 26-inch head-up display behind that, which is pretty big. Very good for your navigational instructions and for your speed as well. And in the center here, we get a 15.6-inch ultra-high definition screen running the D-Link 150 system. Good system, this one. You get lovely wallpapers to swipe through. You get these easy access tiles for quick access to certain functions. You get your toolbar at the bottom so you can go to your fan speed, temperature, seat controls, and your fridge, which I'll come on to in a moment. If you pull down from the top, you can change it so that your maps are the standard background. And if you swipe up from the bottom, you can go into dual screen mode or side-by-side screen mode with, let's say, your music and your maps. So you can have those side by side. Press this button to switch them around over there, or go to the home page to go back to the full screen. The interesting thing about this is, unlike in most other BYDs, it's not a rotatable screen. So I'm just not sure if it's that they don't do rotating screens in the more premium models, or if they're moving away from rotating screens. We'll have to see. But as I said, this one doesn't rotate. Supporting that, we also get a 21 speaker D-Sound system, BYD developed, good amount of speakers, decent amount of punch, not a super fancy system, but it is okay. It'll do the sound stuff, the reasonable music, and you get quite a few different functions you can control inside the system as well. The seats, well, these are pretty good, I would say. 10-way adjustability for the driver, including base cushion extension, which I like. 8-way adjustable, including base cushion extension for the passenger as well. Good side bolsters, they are comfortable, and they come with heating, ventilating, and massaging functions, as do the outer seats in the second row as well. So yeah, good seats. As well as that, we get a 50 watt ventilated wireless charger. Only one though, there is space for two, but you get one. A few manual controls for your drive mode, like sport and eco and so on, for your EV or hybrid EV modes, parking, steering, and your volume as well. You might have just heard that the engine went off, so we've actually charged a little bit of battery now while we've been sat here. Down here, a lot of storage space. You get 3 fragrance pots down there to make the car smell nice, USB-C, USB-A socket, and a 12-volt socket as well. And you get a reasonable sized glove box on this car. Pair of cup holders here in the middle, and just under here, you get a small fridge for 4 330ml cans. Other brands are available. That will do -6 to 6 degrees for cooling, or as much as 35 to 50 degrees for heating stuff up as well. And it's not the only one in the car. As well as that, you also get a large panoramic roof with a sunscreen. The only downside is the drone box covers about half of it up, so maybe not the greatest for letting light into the cabin, having that drone box on top. For other versions of the car, it does mean you get lots of light in the car, and you can shut it out with the sun blind when you want to. We also, by the way, get a sunglass holder on this car as well, which a lot of cars don't come with anymore. So yeah, comfortable, spacious. It's really quite premium up here. In the second row, it's fair to say, pretty massive in here, particularly the footroom, which is absolutely enormous. That seat's as low as it'll go, so actually there's plenty of room to lower that more if BYD would let us, but they don't. Anyway, plenty of footroom, loads of knee room, loads of headroom as well. The only downside is that drone box, which permanently blocks off all the light here in the back seats, but at least you get some from the front. You can also, by the way, slide these rear seats all the way forwards. Still decent knee room there, or all the way backwards to give you even more legroom, and you can tilt your backrest angle to get more laid back, or to sit more upright if you want. I'm going to bring that forward because I do like symmetry inside my cars. Also, heating, ventilating and massaging rear seats on the 2 outer seats. You control the heating and ventilation down here on this screen, where you can also play with your fan speed and your temperature as well. You can show your massaging functions on the side of the base cushion. And just above that screen, we get another little screen here. So if I slide across the top there, press that button, here comes our next refrigerator or heater. So in there, you can get about 6 large bottles, maybe 8 if you turn a couple upside down. Again, like the front one, that will do -6 to 6 degrees or 35 to 50 degrees, so you can cool or heat things as you like. And above that, you get a USB-A and a USB-C socket as well. Decent space in the door pockets and on the back of the seat. We also get an armrest in the middle with a pair of cup holders in there and a bit of extra space in the middle. So yeah, not too bad here. We also get ISOFIX mountings on these 2 rear seats. They're under a Velcro pad there, fairly easy to get to. Shame about the Velcro pad. The third row seats, probably not quite as luxurious as these, but let's have a look. Now, unfortunately, because it is a 2-3-2 formation, the only way to get into the back seats is over the second row seats. So I've slid this bench forward a little bit just to give myself some more leg room in the back. As you know, it's already quite reasonable in the second row, but I'll unceremoniously climb over there and then hoik this thing up a little bit, give it a decent amount of backrest angle on there for them. And back here, you know what? That's actually not terrible. Footroom's actually pretty good, at least on this side. I think on this side, it's not as good because the rails are in the way of your left foot. But if you're a kid with small feet, and let's be honest, most kids are going to be in the back seats rather than adults, you're okay. But yeah, knee room's okay. Got about 1 inch, a couple of fingers of space there between that seat. Headroom is adequate. So actually not that bad, not terrible here in the third row. Only downside is you only get a cup holder and a phone holder on both sides. No USB-C, no USB-A, so no charging functions for phones or digital devices here in the back. You do though get ISOFIX mountings in the third row seats. Not sure that I would want to be leaning all the way over there to get my baby into the back seats of a Tang L though. I think I'd probably try and skip that one. But now the only way to get back out again is to do the kind of unceremonious climb out once again. So I'll see you on the road. Ah. Now, while I would have preferred to have driven the EV version, the Tang L, because it is significantly more powerful than this one, nevertheless, the hybrid version is really good. It's really refined. We've got the engine on right now. You cannot hear it at all. Even if I put my foot down, put the engine under more strain, it's still almost completely inaudible. It's really, really quiet. It's fantastic. And it's really responsive too. So it does drive pretty much like an EV most of the time. As I said, not as powerful as the EV, but I'll give you those figures. All versions of the hybrid version come with a 1.5 litre turbocharged engine in the front that produces 115 kilowatts of power. The vast majority of the time, that's not contributing to the drive of the wheels. It's simply charging the 35.6 kilowatt hour LFP blade battery. And in the single motor versions, that will get you up to 215 kilometers of EV only range. In the dual motor version, which we have, up to 175 kilometers of EV only range on the very generous CLTC cycle. So knock about 25% off in reality. The single motor version is front wheel drive. So it's only a 200 kilowatt motor on the front axle, produces 315 Newton meters of torque, will do 0 to 100 in 7.9 seconds. The dual motor version that we have has an additional 200 kilowatt motor on the rear axle, but that one's more powerful, 355 Newton meters of torque on that one. So 670 Newton meters of torque in total, 400 kilowatts of power, 536 horsepower. It's pretty quick, 0 to 100 in 4.5 seconds, which is not bad at all. As I said, the EV is quite a bit more powerful. In that one, you get you get a 500 kilowatt motor on the rear axle in the single motor version, and in the dual motor version, you get that mega 580 kilowatt motor on the rear axle and 230 on the front as well, which is just crazy powerful. 0 to 100 in 3.9 seconds on that version. Now, the total range, by the way, for this, I believe, is in excess of 1,000 kilometers, maybe even as much as 1,200. Our energy usage so far has been, over the last 147 kilometers, 11.8 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers, and we've used 14 liters of oil. So it is quite efficient, and as I said, it's very quiet and super responsive. But aside from all the power and things, honestly, it's just a really easy car to get along with. If you're looking for something that's particularly racy, don't come here. It's not the most engaging car in the world. You can give the steering a bit more heft by putting it into sport mode or adjusting it in the system to make it a little bit more kind of heavy, but it's not particularly engaging. As I said, it's not really a racing car. It's not meant for going around corners particularly quick or in a kind of exciting, engaging way. But the ride quality is excellent. We get dual wishbone or double wishbone suspension on the front, independent, and 5-link independent suspension on the rear, as well as Disc C. And that does a really, really good job of ironing out all the bumps. I haven't found anything yet that's particularly unsettled the car or made any kind of heavy clunks come through it. It rides really well. And as I said, for most of the time, the steering is quite light and it's particularly soft. So most people who aren't looking for a massively engaging car are going to be more than happy with this. As I said, it's a really easy car to get along with, as so many electrified cars are these days, and cars from China. They're made to make life easier, and I would say the Tang L does a pretty good job of that. As well as that, by the way, you also do get settings for things like sand, mud and mountain. So while it's not a dedicated off-roader, you will get some level of ability in there that you can choose from in the system, but don't expect it to be kind of getting you out of deep holes in the ditch on the beach, for example, and stuff like that. Now, prices. They are, of course, very important. The cheapest version of this car is just 229,800 RMB, and that is for the single motor front wheel drive hybrid version of this car. And bear in mind, all of them come with the LiDAR and the God's Eye B, so that's kind of standard across the range. The middle of the range version, which comes with dual motors but doesn't get the drone box on the top, that one costs 249,800 RMB. And for our version, which is the absolute flagship version, which does come with the bamboo and a few other features, as well as that drone box on the roof, this one is 285,800 RMB. All your currency translations should be shown on the screen. They are, of course, China prices. I would say for most, well, I'm not sure about most markets, for Australia, the price surplus tends to be about 40%. So if you're looking for a reasonable assumption of what the price might be when it gets to your market, maybe applying about 40% seems to be right. Maybe in Europe, because of tariffs, it's a bit more, maybe more like 50, but we'd have to see. But overall, very nice car to drive this, very pleasant, good driving position, visibility is great, loads of space inside, and a good price too. Can't argue with that. Oh, and one other thing. If you put in a destination on the system for your navigation, a button comes up on the screen called AIEM. And if you click that, it will use artificial intelligence to judge your journey, what kind of roads you're going to be using. And then it will adapt whether it uses HEV or EV mode while you're driving to make sure that you use the optimal amount of fuel, the minimal amount of fuel. And at the end of your journey, it will tell you how much the AI system saved you in the process. So that's pretty neat. So that's it for our review of the BYD Tang L, a big SUV that packs a lot of value. It's pretty good on the tech side, particularly with the God's IB autonomous driving system, the drone on this flagship version, and on the EV version, the Megawatt charging and super powerful rear motor as well. And to be fair, most, if not all of those things, are not going to make it to international markets just yet. But it doesn't really matter because the fundamentals of this car are very good. The DMI platform is very efficient, silky smooth and easy to use. Got a lovely interior with good materials, good infotainment system, and twin fridges / heaters at the same time. I think it packs a lot of value for a 3-row SUV, and it will ruffle the feathers of the established brands in this area when it goes to international markets as the Sealion 8. Thank you very much for watching. If you do, thank you for subscribing. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up so more people can see the great cars coming out of China. And as ever, we'll catch you next time.